Boy oh boy, have I got a Warzone video for you. Earlier today I was playing some solo matches and I came across one of the worst kind of cheaters that you can possibly encounter in Call of Duty Warzone, and it's a bit of a strange tale. There's some twists and turns. It's annoying, yeah, being killed by a cheater, but this tale has an oddly satisfying ending. And before we get into that, I just want to throw some appreciation over to the Swiss, the K31. I have used this in the past and I've done a couple of videos on it, but there's been some changes recently to the attachments, the barrels, and just general sniper buffs for the Cold War weapons. And the Swiss, it's disgusting. I hit some absolutely filthy shots in this match. Just popping people left, right and center. I feel like at those kind of distances, just doesn't have any bullet drop or travel time. It's almost instantaneous. That one there, mid jump over the wall. They're not going to be happy about that one. Now about this cheater then. So the game started pretty reasonably. I landed at Promenade, picked up my first kill there. Well, that dude nearly had me. No buy here though. I was kind of disappointed, but there was a scav I wanted to get, but people just hoon for those things in solo matches and they're all gone by the time you land normally. Picked up the second kill. Now, this is my first encounter with the cheater. I'm losing fire station roof and I just get shot in the back. Little bit of damage there. And the person shooting at me there wasn't the cheater. If you listen very carefully, you'll hear some gunshots in a second. That's the cheater killing the guy that was just shooting at me. Now I'm on the roof, I've plated back up. This guy runs into the fire station. So at the moment, I don't know that this guy is cheating, right? I just think it's a normal player. And use the heartbeat, I see they're 20 meters away. They're probably climbing up the tower, so I'm just waiting for them to peek here. And then I decide against it. Maybe not the best position to just be out on the roof like that. Pop the dead silence, and I'm thinking about going for a flank. So I get back inside. They're still up in the tower. But then they jump out. You heard the footstep there. And I wasn't sure if they were on the roof or underneath me. I can tell now that they're underneath me. So what I'm going to do is go by the door, post up, I'll beam them when they come up the stairs. But watch. I got absolutely toasted there and I wanted to see the kill cam. Now, I instantly reported this player for cheating. I don't often report people for cheating unless I'm 99% sure that they're cheating. And I was so sure there that I just hit X and did it straight away. And this is why this kind of player, this kind of cheater is one of the worst you can come up against. So let's watch the death in the kill cam again and we'll break it down. Now, it wasn't the aim and the shots that I thought was particularly dodgy here, although we will get into that a bit later, because I think they're using a different type of aimbot here. Instead, it was the positioning and the crosshair placement and how fast I died that gave it away. As they came up the stairs, I instantly was shot. A bit peculiar because I'd been very quiet, and it's not often that you can predict 100% where someone's going to be in a building like that when there's so many options. And then the kill cam sealed the deal for me. Look at this. Cheeky little look up to the right. There I am on the wall. They know exactly where I'm going to be so they can get ready. Zoom in, pre-fire, do a little jump, and I'm out of there. I nearly killed them, but you can't compete with software like that at the end of the day. But we're going to keep watching because this is where it gets really good. And I think it's important to talk about this because a lot of players might look at what just happened. You know, they're playing the game, a similar thing happens to them and think, oh, it was just good prediction skills, because it didn't really look like your traditional rage aimbot, did it? They didn't snap to me or anything. And some people might think, oh, it's just a good play with good crosshair placement. And they might not notice that little look up to the right before they came up the stairs. So I won my gulag. I dropped back in. As you saw, I got killed when I tried to get my load out. And I wanted to spectate because I knew eventually it's going to come back around to this cheater, right? Because if they were cheating like that, they're trying to hide it. I think that's what they're doing. They're not making it as obvious. They're not rage hacking. And that's why it's pretty dangerous, because they might not get detected or reported that much. Now, we switched over to a guy called Radar here. Watch what happens here. They jump up on the shed. Instantly killed. And I knew straight away because that player, it was quite a nice move they did there, jumping up. But this is the guy that killed me before. They were looking at the top of that shed already. They knew that that player was there. And as you can see, pretty low level account. Default emblem. That's usually a dead giveaway. And I'd guess that they've picked up this Farah off someone that they've killed. Default skin. 22 kills. It's kind of obvious what's going on here now, right? Now, what happens next I find quite interesting. Through social media, Reddit, Twitch chat, I've always been under the impression that you can't get aimbots that will lock onto players in vehicles. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard that before, but I think what happens next will prove that that's not true, or something has changed and the cheat developers have figured out a way to lock onto players in vehicles, because he absolutely tracked the hell out of that guy in the truck then. But again, notice how they're not locking. This isn't rage hacking. What they do is they use their walls, they look for people, get them roughly in the center, and then once they're on a target, an enemy player, that aimbot's just going to ensure that they're locked on, no recoil, the bullets don't move, and the enemy player just gets wasted. So I think it's more of what's called a soft aimbot, where as long as the player is near the center of your screen, like you put your crosshair there, you've predicted where they're going to be using your wall hack, it's going to kick in when you're near and just lock onto them. So it's not quite as obvious, and perhaps any detection tools that look at statistics won't be able to pick it up as much. But you can see here in there with the pre-fire straight away, they just jumped and right on the guy as soon as they came around the corner. Didn't even take any damage there. Now for me personally, over the last like 3 weeks or so, I've not really come across that many cheaters, none that I can remember, but I think that they are just way more prominent in solo matches, and that's probably because they can control things more efficiently, because you're not up against 3 or 4 players, you're up against 1 at a time. And if you've got a wall hack, you can methodically go around, cover your back from the player over there while you kill that one. You don't have to worry about people being revived unless they've got a self-res. And you also don't have to worry about more grenades being thrown at you or stuns, because they're quite a good counter to cheaters like this. Now we're about to see some justice here, guys, and I promise you, it's going to feel good. So they jump outside, kill the raid skin, get a beam on a second, but that player at the top puts a cluster strike on this cheater. Now this shows how little game knowledge these kind of people have. If someone puts a cluster strike on one of these buildings, don't stand on the stairs, because the cluster strike goes through the building and will hit you on the stairs. And that's the end of the cheater in this lobby. Now this is the guy that called in the cluster strike, Zaguni, and I spectated afterwards. I kept on watching. They hit a couple of nice shots here with the K31, represented with the sniper rifle there, and finished off here for the final kill to win the match. And I stayed to the end round lobby and I put voice comms on. Usually I have it turned off, but I thought it would be interesting if people stick around and say something and just listen to what they say.
Thanks,
Oh,
bro.
there was a hacker. There was a hacker in this one too?
Yeah, Kings. Some guy Kings or
Oh,
some shit like that,
it's the
dude.
same fucking dude that was in my last lobby. He had 26
Bro.
kills last game.
Bro, I was so fucking happy. Somebody hit a cluster, then dumbass goes to the top floor and dies, dog.
Yeah, he won the last game though. Like he killed me
man.
and sent me to the gulag with like 73 people left, and I knew it would come back to him. But
Losers, bro.
I guess we'll see him in the next one.
So this cheater had been in that dude's previous game, cheating of course, and ended up winning the match. It's kind of sad for a couple of reasons, because a player like this, when you've got stats racking up like that, should just be banned automatically. I don't see why there has to be some kind of human review there when it's obvious what's happening. And I feel bad for the guy who's had to deal with that 2 games in a row. Now, one way you can avoid this, I know some people already know this, but I wanted to show you. If you come across a cheater or someone you suspect of cheating, the first thing you should do is go to the recent player list and report them, or report them when you're spectating them in game like I did. But you can also block them, so you right click, block, and then when you're in a lobby, it will tell you that there's a block player in that lobby, so you can just leave and re-queue, join another one. But something the game doesn't tell you is that the block list actually has a limit. It's around 200 people. And if you're already at that limit, if you've blocked 200 people already, you can right click on someone and click block, but it won't actually block them until you unblock someone on your list. So if you've got 200 people blocked that you thought were cheating or whatever, I'd advise going to your block list, which is here, and then maybe looking for some of the ones at the bottom of the list, which you blocked ages ago with default emblems, because you'd assume that by now, if they were cheaters, they've been banned. Just unblock a couple of them and then block the most recent one. So you won't have the same problem that this dude just had, where they played another game and they were in the same lobby again. Because it sucks for that guy, you don't want to see that happen. Everyone wants the game to be fair. And with that said, that's all for today, folks. I thought I'd show you this because I did find it kind of interesting, the way this guy was cheating and the fact that they'd popped up in multiple matches and they weren't rage hacking. So yeah, maybe it is a bit more difficult to detect, but after I spectated and I kept watching, it's quite clear that he was using an aimbot and hitting shot after shot that just wasn't humanly possible. So statistics based anti-cheat should be picking that up and flagging it. As always guys, thank you to everyone here using my COD Support a creator code in the store. I'm still going through a massive backlog of pictures that I've saved from everyone that's used it for the previous season, for the Rambo and the John McClane skins, and also of course season 4, which has just started. A ton of you guys said that you bought the battle pass and used my code, so thank you very much. I appreciate you. The way it works is if you buy anything, skins, battle pass, whatever, put my code in before you do and I'll get a bit of kickback from the sale. Basically it's that simple, just a way to help support me on the channel. If you enjoyed the video guys, leave a like. If you didn't, a dislike. Subscribe for more and I'll see you in the next one.